Sir, you are on mute.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay, right. Let us start with morning. We discuss what are the objectives of corporate restructuring, and now we will discuss next concept. What are the theories of mergers? Very important theories behind mergers. So we have to give heading theories of merger. Okay, you know, right? All concepts are framed, evolved based on the theories. So right, without theories you cannot prove anything. Assumptions will not work, right? Everything is should be supported by theories. So now we are going to discuss now what are the those theories are there in our mergers. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. So I will discuss based on that point. Okay, I will not give all the list. One by one, I will keep discussing. You can make a note of those things. Okay. The first theory is okay. The first theory is differential. Okay, differential efficiency. Differential efficiency theory. This is a theory which comes under merger and acquisition. Okay, differential efficiency theory. Now, what is this differential efficiency theory? All of you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this differential efficiency theory? Try to understand. Let's imagine there are two firms. Firm A and firm B. Okay. One is firm A, one is firm B. And firm A is more efficient. Okay. Firm A is what? More efficient in terms of everything. When you say efficient means it is in terms of profit, sales, market share, everything. That is called efficient firm. So what is efficient firm? Who have certain qualities. What? Whose profits are very good. Okay. Profits are high, and this company's market shares also very high, very good market share, right? And who's having a very good turnover. Okay, this is the quality of any efficient firm. And there is a one more firm which is nothing but inefficient. Okay, the another firm is what? Inefficient. And what is inefficient firm? The qualities of inefficient means who don't have very good market share, who don't have market profits also, they don't have very good turnover. Those firms are called inefficient firms. Now what is differential efficiency theory? So what happens in differential efficiency theory, where two firms like firm A and B, they should be deal with those products which are related products. Okay, we should compare the firm A and firm B only with related products. They should manufacture what? Related products. Like for example, firm A and firm B should produce same product, but in same product they are producing. Let's say firm A is manufacturing soap, Firm B also manufacturing soap, but firm A is more efficient than firm B. Okay, now what will happen in this case? Differential efficiency theory. Now, can firm A can acquire firm B or not? In this case, because they are more efficient, they have more profits, means they have more results, right? So here in differential efficiency theory, what happened? Efficient firm will take over inefficient firm. Okay, efficient firm will what? Take over. Okay, either they will what they will do? Take over, or we are talking about merger, so they will merge. Okay, so what will happen? Firm B, which is inefficient, they will merge with firm A, which is more efficient, and both the firms should have related products. I'll give you example. Let's imagine our efficient firm is Vodafone, right? Vodafone is very much efficient in the market. And another firm is, let's say, Idea, okay? Idea Communications, which is of once again telecommunication industry. So here firm A is a Vodafone, which is more efficient, and Idea, which is less efficient. So here what happened? Both are in the same industry or not? Okay, both are in the telecommunication industry. So what is a one very important features of differential efficiency theory? They should deal in the related product. Please make a note of this. Okay, so here related product is there or not? Telecommunication is a related product. So in this case, what Vodafone will do? Okay, Vodafone will try to acquire Idea, or Vodafone will try to merge with Idea. Either they can take over or they can merge. Such theory is called differential efficiency theory. This theory is called differential efficiency theory, where efficient firm will try to merge with inefficient firm, and together they will become Vodafone Idea, right? This is called Vodafone Idea, which is nothing but related product. So such theory is called differential efficiency theory. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So here, the firm has an option or it is mandatory for it to acquire, sir.
Can you repeat, Raghavendra?
So here the firm A has an option or is it mandatory to acquire firm B, sir?
See, option is not, we can say. If firm B want to merge with efficient firm, then they can at least save themselves, right? So,
Yes, sir.
inefficient firm can come forward and they will tell, see, we are running into loss of profits. We are running in the market share. Our market share is coming very down. So, what we will do? We will merge with you. That is also can be done. Firm A will be, okay, fine, I am ready to merge with you, but I will be having majority of the shares. Is it clear? What is the use for the firm A? They have good market share. Yes, firm A have good market share. They will have one more firm with having a good assets, right? They will use their resources. Firm A will, what they will do, along with their resources, they will start using firm B's resources also, and they will maximize their profit as much as that.
Sir, but if we take same Vodafone and Idea different way, but their profit is yearly year on year coming down, sir.
They will increase market share also. Means, what of Idea's customer will become now customer of Vodafone. So what will happen? Market share will increase or not of Vodafone?
Yes, sir.
That is advantage.
Okay.
Jio and Airtel, if suppose for example, if Airtel don't want to compete with Jio, in fact Jio is now one of the highest number of subscribers. If they don't want to compete Airtel with Jio, they can merge. It is not a suggestion for them, it is up to the management. I am just telling you one example. This can also happen, right?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, here Vodafone and Idea have merged, right, sir? Because that forms to be VI. Here,
Vodafone
the
Idea.
acquisition didn't happen.
Acquisition didn't happen.
Sir, if the acquisition had happened, the shares would have been taken over, right?
Here merger happened.
Yes.
It's a merger. Because we are talking about merger, so Idea will merge with Vodafone to reduce the competitions.
Okay, sir.
Shall we go to the next theory?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Put in the chat box how many people understood this theory. Okay, fine.
So only getting share is not enough for the company, right? Because this Vodafone and Idea merge has not given such a profit for them.
But
Then what's the use of merging, sir?
see, it is the management they have to decide. See, if they feel that it is a good to acquire in the market, after that, that is their business strategy. No, whether they are getting good revenue or not after merging, it is the management they have to decide. There is one theory is there on that also.
Not only about example, sir. Usually, if the companies are insufficient, why they are going to merge with that efficient companies? Already they are doing good.
Yes, why they want to do is that they don't want to lose the existence. At least people remember idea, no?
Yes, sir, it's a profit for insufficient company, but not for the efficient, right?
Here what is happening, what I'm trying to say is that if the company don't want to lose the existence, that is one thing, and the one thing is that the company don't want to get uh, more competition to be faced, because if the sorry, Vodafone, if they have taken more and more kind of, if they expanded the market, if by giving good number of customers benefits and all, so they're trying to reach more number of customers, but at the same time Idea didn't do that kind of strategy. So what happened, they lost so much of revenues. And to again, Idea, they have so much of Aditya Birla groups. They have so much of business expanded over there. One segment they want to merge so that at least they will sustain. Practicality, if you see, is that basically firm A will have advantage is that they will have consolidated one of the category of consolidation. They can show more consolidated revenues. That is only the advantage for them.
So it's like, let's say, Form A works in the urban space and Form B works in rural space. Now, Form B is inefficient, A is efficient. But Form A thought that I should go into the rural space also. So they'll take over B, they'll use their supply chain, and they'll use their technology, their process to make that process.
Clear? Yeah, that is also one thing. Efficient company will gain more goodwills. How Mahindra took over Satyam. Perfect. Clear? Shall we go to the next one?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
The second one. Second theory is inefficient management theory. Inefficient management theory. Now remember, here also the concept is same. Okay, here concept is same only. Means again we will have two firms, firm A, and again we'll have one more firm B. So once again, firm A is, let's imagine if it is more efficient, firm B is inefficient, okay. But remember, in previous theory, what was that? Differential efficiency theory. There the product was related or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But here the product should be not related. So not related product, or we can say not related firms. That is the difference. That is the difference between the first theory and the second. In the first theory, sorry, firm will be doing the business same. Telecommunication merge, okay? Inefficient merge with efficient. But in inefficient management theory, what happens? Two different industry, two different firms, not related to the same industry. Like for example, Kotak Mahindra Bank, right? Kotak Mahindra Bank, which is efficient. For example, just understand. Kotak Mahindra Bank is efficient. Now, it is a banking company, okay? So, it is a banking company. And there is a one more firm which is inefficient. Let's imagine Exide battery. Okay, now I am taking Exide battery. Have you heard this company Exide, which manufacture battery?
Sir.
So now imagine this is banking. Kotak Mahindra is a bank, and this is altogether a different industry, right? Which manufactures what? Battery, right? So what is the connection between bank and battery now? There is no connection at all. What happens now? But our Kotak Mahindra Bank is more efficient, and here Exide battery, which is inefficient, there is no much profit for it. So what will happen here? Inefficient firm will try to merge with efficient. Inefficient firm will try to merge with efficient. Means Exide battery will try to merge with Kotak Mahindra Bank. Exide battery will try to merge with Kotak Mahindra Bank. Remember, both the products are unrelated. This theory is called inefficient management theory. This theory is
Sir,
called
is it
as
similar to conglomerate merger?
conglomerate. Something's related to conglomerate mergers. Different industry, they want to try to merge. But here we are classifying. One is efficient, one is inefficient. Right? So here classification makes a lot of difference. Is that clear, the second theory?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us move to the next theory. The third one. Third theory is operating. Okay? Operating synergy theory. Operating synergy theory. Now, synergy means what? It's a simple, I have to take one separate session on synergy, but right now you try to understand. Synergy is like this. If firm A and firm B both merge, the power of firm A and B, when they merge, it will become, let's say, AB company. A is having individual power, B is also having individual power, but when they merge together, the power will be more than the individual industry. Correct? As of now, you just understand this is one simple concept of synergy. When two companies merge, their aggregate power, okay, their aggregate power will be more than the individual industry A and B separate if you do. So it means what? Your power is increased when 2 and 2 company comes together. Okay. Now what is operating synergy? Same thing. If one firm is there, okay, firm A, once again there is a firm B. Okay, let's imagine our firm A is Pepsi and firm B is Coca-Cola. Okay, now two are competitors of each other. Now what they can do to avoid the competition in the market? Pepsi can merge with Coca-Cola, means they are producing the unit of production of Pepsi is, let's say for example 20 millions. Every day Pepsi produces 20 millions of cold drinks and Coca-Cola produces 40 millions of cold drinks. What if Pepsi and Coca-Cola come together? What will happen? Their operating synergy will increase. Their operating synergy will increase. It means what? Let's imagine if they merge Pepsi, Coke. If this is the Coco, if these companies get merged, Pepsi and Coca-Cola, then what will happen? Together they can come and they can do more production than what they are doing individually. So if Pepsi and Coca-Cola, if they merge, they can produce even 80 or we can say 100 millions of what? Units of production, which is more and more than individual. That is called operating synergy theory. Okay? Operating means your operating performance, your daily productions. Yes, correct, exactly,
Both the
Rahul. ITC and HUL, if they merge, they can beat FMCG. That is what, but they won't. Yes or no?
Sir,
Yes.
here both the companies,
Hello?
sir, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Sir, here both the companies,
I can't hear you. Both the companies what?
should be efficient.
Yes, it need not to be. I did not talk about efficient and inefficient. It can be anything. But here, the company just want to focus on their operating performance, they want to improve. Both the company can be efficient. Both the inefficient company also can merge. That also can be. Like for
Sir, and
example,
here,
ITC and HUL. Both are efficient. If they merge, that is what Rahul says. Example, whole FMCG they can capture, right? In fact, rather than doing producing individual units of goods, why can't we both merge and do better mass production? Means they are trying to capture the whole market. That is what it says.
sir, here both the companies put to be in the same industry.
It can be same industry or this will work only if you are doing in the same industry. Because you did not have to spend more money on infrastructure development. You don't have to spend money more on it. This will work if the companies are doing into the, like in case of horizontal. If they are in the same merger, they should be in the same line. Done?
Yes, sir.
Shall we move to the next one?
Yes, sir.
This is operating synergy theory. Next one, fourth one. The fourth theory is financial. Okay? Financial synergy theory. Now remember, fourth theory is financial synergy theory. In previous theory, what was the key point? What was here? We were talking about what?
More about operating.
We are talking about operating. And in this theory, we are talking about what? Financial. Remember, there is a difference. Operating is different and financial. That is why operating activities are different and financial activities are different. Like in cash flow statement, you clearly specify, right? What are your operating in activities? Cash flow from operating activities, how much? And cash flow from what? Financial activities, how much? Correct? Now, what is financial? Okay, let's imagine there are two firms. This is the first firm and this is the second firm. What is financial synergy theory says? Just see how these theories are formed. Okay, the first firm has finance means cash. They have adequate cash, more cash they have. So much of cash reserves they have. But problem is they don't have opportunity to invest this cash. They have very less opportunity. Correct? First firm which has more cash but they have very less opportunity to invest, means they are not able to try to invest properly this fund. They don't have much idea of how to where to invest this fund. But there is a one more firm which has cash is very low, okay, and opportunity is what? Opportunity is what? Is high. Try to understand. See, this is a scenario. First firm who has more cash but less opportunity. Second firm has less cash but they have more opportunity. Can both the firm can merge or not? What is the advantage?
Grabbing every opportunity.
Can first firm can merge with second firm and second firm can merge with first firm or not?
Yes, sir.
Possible? If first firm merge with second firm, they will get more opportunity. If the second firm merge with first firm, they can get more cash. Yes or no? They can merge and they can finally, ultimately what will happen? Both the firm can increase their cash as well as they can increase their opportunity also. This is called financial synergy. This is your what? Financial synergy concept. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Put in the chat box. Did you understood this theory or not? Okay. Okay. Next, let us move to the next theory. So total how many theories are completed? What about others? Sleeping or what?
Four, sir.
Next, fifth one. Fifth theory is pure diversification theory. Pure diversification theory. Next keywording, pure diversification theory. Now what is pure diversification theory? This theory talks about what? Remember, in this theory, there should be a different product should be there. Okay, different products. Now we are talking about products. Remember, there is a product extension merger. If you remember, everyone, we saw one type of merger was product extension merger. Here also different product. Okay, like for example, two companies with different products. Okay, that product will get merged. That product, what they will do, company will, they will try to merge. So let's say for example, if you take, let's say, insurance from HDFC Life. Okay, HDFC Life, everyone know this company, right? Let's imagine if you take one health insurance from HDFC Life, which is one product. Okay, there is one more product. Okay, of, let's imagine, ICICI Lombard. Okay, which having a vehicle insurance. Okay, which is selling what? Vehicle insurance. Let's imagine if ICICI Lombard vehicle insurance product and HDFC Life health insurance product. Okay, both the premium will be different, term will be different. So what happens here? Different product, if suppose they merge. So if suppose if you want to take HDFC Life product, let's say you take an health insurance from HDFC Life, you will get vehicle insurance also along with that. You will get vehicle insurance also along with health insurance, but this vehicle insurance you will get of ICICI Bank, and HDFC will sell their main product health insurance. So it means what? Different products. Your company is trying to merge the product with product. Okay, but different products. They should be different products. Now why they are doing like this? Why ICICI vehicle insurance has to merge with HDFC Life company? One thing is just they want to reduce the risk from the market, right? And they want to gain more and more sales from the product, and they want to increase their profits, right? Why the ICICI is doing? Because they want to increase their products and they want to diversify their business also. So it means what? You are somewhere connecting with those industries which having a good market share, good holding in the market, and you're trying to sell your product with those companies' product. That is called pure diversifying. You're diversifying. ICICI has, Lombards has different products. But why did they merge their vehicle insurance product with health insurance? Just they want to diversify. That is one reason. And one more reason, like LIC is the giant of market, right, in terms of insurance. LIC hold how much percentage of market shares of insurance? It is 64%, one of the highest. It means if there are 100 people are there, 100 is the population, 64 people will have LIC's product. That is the meaning of this. And do you know HDFC Life? Why did I take HDFC Life? Because this is also one of the having the highest market share. HDFC Life has 8% of market share in insurance. This is real statistics. Okay? So it means LIC is 8 times more than what? HDFC Life. 8 into 8, 64. Means there are, if you take that 8 groups of people merged together, then it will become LIC. One reason is HDFC having 8% market share and ICICI Lombard, what they thought, we will merge our product with HDFC Life because they have good share, 8%, right? Like this, they want to diversify and they want to merge so that they want to increase their what? Profits, they want to reduce the risk of losing market share as well as they want to increase more and more, they want to give dividends to their shareholders also. This is called pure diversifying theory or pure diversification theory. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it can be Raghavendra. Airtel DTH plus Netflix subscription. Correct. That can also be a pure diversification. So if you purchase Airtel DTH, you will get Netflix 1 year subscription. That is called pure diversification. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2 people replied. 3. Yeah, that also can be Bible. Okay. Right. So 5 theories are completed. Sixth one. Undervaluation theory. Undervaluation theory. Okay. Now, what is undervaluation theory? It's a very simple theory. So, what is undervaluation theory? Let's imagine there is a one firm. There are two firms. One firm which is called undervalued firm. Okay. Undervalued firm means the firm which is having less valuation, less valued, and there is a one more firm which is called buying firm. Okay. Now remember, what is undervaluation theory? The undervalued firm is also called target firm. Okay, I'll just erase this. The undervalued firm is called as which firm? Target firm. Okay, and the buying firm is purchasing firm, is called as bidding firm. Bidding. It's also called as what? Bidding firm. Means this bidding firm is trying to bid and trying to purchase the target firm, which is undervalued. Bidding, right? I am trying to buy that firm. And that is what? Buying firm is trying to, nothing but, bidding firm is trying to buy undervalued firm. Nothing but, this is my selling company and this can be my buying company. What is happening here? One company who have majority of holdings, okay, they have very good profits, cash. They want to buy undervalued firm. That is why it is called as undervaluation theory. So in undervaluation theory, what happens? One firms, they try to purchase the undervalued firm. Like you know, right? The firm can be overvalued in terms of shares or in terms of their total asset, or it can be undervalued. So here, let's imagine one X company which is undervalued and Y company which is nothing but the another firm. So Y is targeting X company. That is called undervaluation theory, where one company who have greater market share, greater holdings in the market, they try to buy the undervalued firm. This is called undervaluation theory. Is it clear? Done?
Yes, sir.
Now, seventh one. Seventh theory is SIG signaling theory. SIGNALING signaling theory. Now you try to understand why did I written below undervaluation? There is a connection. See, signaling theory means it's a connection, it has very much connected with this theory. But what is important here? Same thing I will write down here. Bidding firm, okay. Bidding firm means the buying firm, okay. Bidding firm is trying to purchase the target firm, okay. Is trying to purchase which firm? The target firm. But what happens? Because of that, when suddenly there is a news comes in the market, okay, there is a news comes in the market that a bidding firm, there is a one firm who is trying to purchase another firm, okay, then what will happen? This news will impact the stock market, okay, it will have some impact on the stock market. If the moment we get to know there is a merger, right? So what will happen? Or there is something like acquisition is happening. Buying firm, bidding firm is trying to purchase the target firm. There is a reaction will happen in stock market immediately. Recently you saw there was a merger between what? Sony, right? Sony plus Z Media. Did you have? I think I only sent this news in the group. Did you saw this news?
Yes, sir.
Sony Limited and Z Media. Sony taken over Z Media, right? So now you try to see. This is here. Sony is a bidding firm, and Z Media is which firm? Target firm. Okay. So now what happens now? This will have more impact on the stock market. Stock market will start behaving. It gets some kind of signaling, right? There will be so much of market will start showing the reaction up and down. There will be so much of movement will happen in the market. Means there is a signal is arised. That signal came when bidding firm immediately announced. Sony announced that I am going to purchase Z Media. So there is a signal is arise in the market, and that signal is nothing but the movement happens in the market. That is why it is called signaling theory. Did you got it? What is signaling?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear what is signaling theory?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Put in the chat box. Signaling. Did you understood what is signal happening? Signal means there is some news comes in the market. That market will show its own reactions. Okay. So total how many theories over? 7. Let us move to the next one. 8th theory. So the 8th one is,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, you told about that you'll explain about that assignment, sir.
Sorry.
Assignment, sir.
I will tell that assignment. Yes, I will tell you that one.
Only 5 minutes left, sir. So asking. Last day is 15, you said.
5 minutes. Time is over.
Yeah.
Okay, last I will discuss this theory. Okay. What is agency theory? See, there is something called as management. Okay. In a company, there are managements. We represent management as board of directors. They are the management people. And there are shareholders are there. Okay. Sometimes what happens, whatever board of directors will take some decisions. Okay. They take so many decisions in the company. Okay. And even shareholders also take some decisions. When this decision interest is not matching with decision interest or shareholders interest is not matching, sometimes clash will happen. No, management and shareholder are having clash. What is clash? both decisions are not matching, right? Board of directors says one thing, shareholders will say one thing. So there is a clash is happening between both the decision what they are taking. So in that case, what they will do to arise or to remove these conflicts, there is a conflicts is there between both the parties, management and shareholders. To remove those conflict, what they will do, they will take one decision, better to go for merger. If there is a decision related to companies taking over, or it can be decision related to shareholders, one solution is merger, that is agency theory. So agency theories will resolve, okay, this theory try to resolve the conflicts between the management, conflicts between the management as well as shareholders. Is that clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.